Hello everyone, my name is EllieCupcakes and today we have a speed paint. It's been a couple of months since the last one, and here we have Barbara from Genshin Impact. I can see from the video that it also has the sketching phase. How unusual! And as you may notice, the commentary is a little different from the previous ones, because I'm commenting as I'm watching the video, instead of just writing down my thoughts and reading them later. So it kinda feels like we are watching it together. And I also kinda wanted to have a more similar approach to when I stream. So let's try this out. Barbara is my favorite character from Genshin Impact. I fell in love with her the moment I installed the game, because she's a healer, she's a cutie, and she also sings. I usually prefer healing roles in video games. My main in Team Fortress 2 used to be the medic. It eventually became the soldier, but medic still holds a dear place in my heart. But speaking more about the drawing, it was made during a period of time in which I wanted to try a more sketchier line art. This doesn't look as clean for my standards, or at least those that used to be. So to save up time, I wanted to not focus on one line, so even though it looks a little more dirty, it still conveys the cuteness and softness that the character needs. Also, her design is full of tiny detail, so I'm not surprised that it took 6 hours to complete. This was the first of a series of some of the characters from Genshin, followed shortly by Zhongli, the Shogun, and Venti. Sadly, I don't have the recording of Venti, because after OBS updated, it kind of resetted all of my scenes, so I kind of fell out of the habit of recording drawings. And now that I think about it, this is also one of the last drawings line-arted on Photoshop, because for the same reason, after a certain update, it crashed and it corrupted a lot of the files that I was working on, in particular the animated emotes, which had quite some frames. So ever since I never used Photoshop again to line art. Nowadays I only use it to color correct and resize things, but I both line art and color on Clip Studio. Speaking about it, I always start from the skin tone, because it's the most fun part to begin with, and coloring in general is my favorite part of a drawing. In fact, I wanted to become a colorist when I just joined the school, eventually transitioned to concept art, especially in the merchandising side of things. Concept art has a lot of stages. A lot of people prefer the earlier ones because you have more control on characters and how to design them. But personally, I prefer working on characters that are already existing and put them in poses, make them super cute and colorful, and stuff like that. I haven't quite printed anything new. This one in particular was made as a standee and keychains, which one of each is also available if you are interested. And I really like how it came out. Especially the shading of the hair came out extremely nicely, and you'll soon see. I made her a little too redhead in hindsight, but I color corrected it to a more lighter shade of blonde. Because I really like warm tones, and I tend to overdo the reds and oranges sometimes. Another particular that I kinda missed is that I made her pupil diamond shaped, because back then I thought every character of Genshin had diamond-shaped pupils, but it turns out it's only Kaya, and another character called Dainsleif, but he was introduced way much later. I also see that I changed the color of the line art to make it more pastel and soft on the eye. I've been trying to remove the black from my palettes because it makes the drawings extremely heavy, and I don't know, it kinda distracts from the cuteness of the style that I want to achieve. I wish I could have made more drawings about Genshin, but for some reason my style is not Eastern enough. There is a bit of Occidental influence that doesn't quite make it as kawaii as other people in the fandom, so it doesn't get a lot of notes or likes or whatever. Since I'm part of the official fanart program of Genshin, I keep doing my monthly fanarts, but it's a bit of a shame that they are not recognized in the fandom, that's all. I also made some stickers that I plan to finish someday, along with the tons of projects that are currently holding on. And that reminds me that I'm also working on an animatic about our Dark Souls protagonist, Blurb. I just finished recording the dialogue for that one, and eventually we'll also finish that. I have to admit I've been a bit on an art block these days, but I'm glad I'm getting over it, slowly but surely. The circle that you saw appear behind her shortly was to measure where the silhouette would appear on the keychains. You don't want the characters to break. If you make the shapes not round enough, keychains can break, and that's one of the most important things to take consideration of. And I'm planning on making more speed paints in these days. I'm looking for content in my recorded ones, but some of these videos are really old. Now it's almost October and I see stuff from June, May, so I don't want to dig too far behind, so I'll see if there is something after the one of Barbara. But the video of next Saturday is extremely important, so please, when it comes out, I will need you to share it and pay attention to it. So, October is a big, important month. Now that there is nothing else to add, if you enjoy my videos, remember to subscribe and like if you want to see more. With that said, thanks for sticking by and thank you for watching. See you next time.